guys? We're back. Um, Support surviving fentanyl. You see the merch. It's still on sale. You know where to go to get that. www.ssfnonprofit.org. Had to think about that. I hadn't said that in a minute. Um, on this episode, I want to take you a journey with me on my journey through sobriety. Right. I wasn't addicted to fentanyl, but I did have a problem with liquor after my mother passed. So um, I became a compulsive drinker. Um, and we'll get more into that a little bit later, the journey of that and how and what made me change. But sobriety is such a good thing and a good feeling. And it's so gratifying, it's so rewarding. Um, I want you guys to take this journey with me. Uh, I I'm going to start on the 5th of this month, September. Excuse me. Um, is where I really got a reward back from doing the right thing. Right. I hadn't seen my children in almost a year, maybe even over a year. I was struggling financially. I was invested into this company, into this nonprofit, and making the sacrifice to be able to have a future for my children. I want to leave them something. I want to leave them a legacy. I want them to think of their dad of somebody, as somebody. Um, so through this journey, I'll start with September the 5th. I woke up. We I had a child support hearing. It worked out pretty good. It's a couple things, you always want something to do or something to be better, but overall, I'm happy with it, right? I got my rights as a father. She'll get some money, and I'll go above and beyond that. I have a vision for how I want and what I want my kids to have and be, can't no judge, can't no woman, no friend or nobody tell me the life that I want to give my children, right? It's not a chore. It's not something that I have to do. It's my responsibility as a man. And on top of all that, man, I got two beautiful little girls. I love them to death. Um, Aria and Amari is their name. Aria just started school. She's excelling at it. Her mother says she's always getting good reports or whatever. She's such a beautiful kid. Very great listener. She picks up on the things that you want her to and the things that you don't want her to. She's just like me when I was young. Always had questions. I questioned everything that anybody said or asked. I just had questions. So, and my mom used to always tell me, "There's no wrong question. It's no stupid question. The only question like that is the one that isn't asked." So from there, I jumped on. I Ubered to the airport. Got there. I was on child support hearing while I was doing this. The judge kind of punished me because he said at the beginning of the hearing, no driving, right? Even though I was a passenger, he wouldn't make an exception. He made me go absolutely last. I almost missed my flight, but things worked out, right? You put your foot in forward in the right direction, and the laws of the universe, God, and all those things will be with you. And I hope that's some inspiration to somebody who's in recovery like me. Um, One thing we have to understand about being addicts is that we're always in recovery, right? My experience with opiates was when I got shot. Um, I got addicted to them. I took them. They were fun. But I was taking Vicodin, 750 milligram Vicodin. That's when things weren't. It wasn't fentanyl then, like perks were. It was a whole different opiate game back then. But it's still the same receptors. It's still the same addiction. Um, when I got into alcohol, what after sitting down with my therapist, with my medical team, my doctor, my nurses, and everybody, what we found out was that I was suffering from opiate withdrawals, and liquor was a caveat to that, right? Saying, meaning that I was able to drink until I passed out, right? Straight, no, like I could drink. And you wouldn't know it until, boom, I was on the floor somewhere. So, with that being said, um, I started a drug, Suboxone. I've reached out to Suboxone to partner with them for some sponsorship. I do have a documentary that I'm working on with. I'll keep the media company kind of low right now, just because we haven't signed. There's still some paperwork things that we're working out. I do have a book that's coming out also. I don't know exactly when I'm going to release that, but it'll be probably done and complete by the end of this month, and probably in production, because I'm going to do hardbacks. I'm not just going to do a digital or Amazon. I'm going to do a hand to hand sale. I want to meet the people. I want the people to meet me, understand the story. The name of the book is LD, standing for learning disability. Dyslexia. I was born with dyslexia, right? We all born with our challenges. We're all born different, but in I had my things that made me smart. I was good at math. I could figure things out. I was a problem solver, but reading and writing has always been a challenge for me. And what I'm starting to realize is all the successful men in this world almost have the same thing, right? But with AI and all these new ways to communicate, information technology, it's not as vital. But in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, it was, right. That was our form of communication. That was what made you smart. I still have family members right now who think they're smarter than me because I was labeled that, right. I'll always be that to them. Secondly, we so every chapter in this book will start with a LD, for like learning disability, losing dad, looking for dad, love and differences, low down drug dealer, because honestly that's what I was, and I have to be honest with myself to make the change. If you could sell drugs to your community and see them suffer while you gain off of it, that takes a sickness. You're sick at that point. And I want to, get this conversation started with other men that have these same issues, that's been through these same things that I've been through. uh, PTSD is a real thing, not just for war veterans, man. When you live the lifestyle that I lived, you suffer from it, right? You have regrets, you have anguish, you're in pain. I mean, it rottens your mind, your soul, your spirit, right? And then you wonder, like, hey, is it redemption to this? It can I be redeemed? But all in all, we're here now, support surviving fentanyl. And I always touch on those type of things because my number one question when somebody sees what I'm doing, see what I'm doing, they always ask, what what's the motivation? Why or whatever? And my mother is a big reason. Um, my lifestyle, my bringing up, and just seeing where the world is now. Fentanyl is just the new crack. It's the new. And next, it'll be something else. So, SSF stands for Support Surviving Fentanyl, but it also stands for Strength, Serenity, Freedom. Because when you get the strength to get the serenity, you get the freedom, right? So it all starts with strength. It all starts with making your mind up. It's an everyday journey. I want the community that follows me, I want them to take this journey and this leap with me, right? Uh, it's scary, man. You don't know how your body's gonna react without it. I remember I used to think I was gonna die if I didn't have it, right? And I know some people could relate to that. They use drugs. Like, man, I'm gonna die. Like, I've been putting this stuff in my body so long, my body might go crazy without it. So, um, yeah, this journey, it was, man, it was everything to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it meant absolutely everything to me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be throwing in and out clips because I did record. It's all jumpy footage or whatever, but just to give you some of the insights of what I was doing. I'm in my own studio. I forgot to turn off a light, y'all. There we go. That's it. That looks a lot better. But so on this journey, we're going to be going in and out, doing a lot of different clips, right? I'm going to show you my daughters. I interviewed them. We had a blast, man. I mean, we went to the park, Chuck E. Cheese. We went and seen a 3D movie, and just walking to the store and letting them get candy and, all those things, man. We just had a blast. My baby woke me up, my 3-year old. She was the first one to get up. She woke me up. And then I had a drastic turn, right? It's the down, right? When I had to separate from them, I was hurt. It hurt me. To see my kids was hurt. They were hurt that dad had to leave. They don't understand everything the way us adults do, and they just feel like dad just moved here or whatever, you know. So um, I want to share that with you guys. Um, I'm going to share with you the turnaround, right? So, because I had to come back, I had to be to work the next day. I committed to go to a seminar, a master class. A lot of you guys might know him, Andy Elliott master class, and I even got some funny things about that, and I'll show you some of the footage of that. Show you kind of what they were talking about. It was a real good class. uh for those that need motivation, I think I'm at another stage, but we always do think that that's a self thing, right? I think I'm at a different stage. I'm ready to sit down with people who are ready to strategize and attack. I'm already motivated. I ended up getting into it with one of the recruiters. He was a coach, right? And I left early, so he was mad that I left early and talking about he was disappointed in me and all that. I'm like, dude, I'm 42 years old. You can't be disappointed in me unless you've invested in me anything, right? I met you, I shook your hand, we took a picture, and you talking to me like you like I've been talking. It's because my dealership paid for me to go because Andy Elliott's his seminars are expensive, and I couldn't afford that, right? But I'm like, bro, like it's not your money you lost or nothing. And I reached out to him afterwards because I wanted to continue, and I did get something from that. Like at that seminar, I met the production team that I'm gonna work with on my documentary. They're interested. Um, so we gotta get busy, get selling again. The wristbands, t-shirts, mugs. It's still all on display. This summer, this fall, we're gonna drop a hat collection. I was a hat guy at one point in time. It's probably why I'm bald headed now. Um, but yeah, man, it was crazy. And he was just telling me about success and if I could see myself. And I'm like, hold on, bro, my success ain't tied to nobody. I already have had a calling over my life. I believe that God has a plan for me, and what God got for me can't nobody take from me. You know, when God got a plan for you, man, and when you've been called and you've been predestined to do something, the person that helps you in that journey, they are very valuable. But if it isn't them, it's somebody else, right? Because it's got to happen, right? Um, when when you tie your success to somebody, man, you're really putting yourself in a bad situation. But Andy them, he brought on some big speakers and everything. It was great, man. He fed us. And I seen the vision. I seen myself doing that, but I don't want to do it with business people. I want to do it with recovering addicts and teaching them business, teaching them coding, teaching them videography, photography, soundstage, mixing and mastering music, editing film, because it's an industry, right? And I truly believe that if you're motivated and you have the passion to do something else, drugs become a little bit less attractive because all of them things are the same receptors, right? They all work on the same receptors. Um, I have a beautiful team behind me, my sister, her husband, My family, we're all very supportive. They love what I'm doing. Um, I'm the voice of this thing, man. But my sister is very very influential and important to the nonprofit, our organization. And we're gonna branch out and we're gonna do other things, right? And a lot of people have a lot of stories to tell. They can share, and with story sharing, you're sharing your story to maybe someone else who's in step six can jump out to 10 and get away because they learned, right? Information, learning, teaching each other. That's what we do, right? And that's what the storytelling is for. It's not to glorify. It's not like my our channel. We have some raw footage because we started with a camera, a phone on the camera, iPhone. I was homeless, and God put me in a situation where I was around all fentanyl users, right? And man, you minus the drug, you meet the person, you see their kids, you see the struggles that they're going through and everything, man, and you become attached. I know I did. I was very motivated, and I would always say, man, I'm gonna come back get y'all. I'm gonna come back get y'all. I'm gonna come back and help y'all. And these are the steps in doing that, you know. Um, so the documentary would be Blue Azona unmasking fentanyl in the Valley of Phoenix, Arizona. Um, and what we're going to key on, we're going to expose it, right? But we're not looking at it like the drug dealers or nothing. We're choice. That's what we're doing. Because if you don't buy it, like any other market, it goes away. Um, I remember a point in time when Jodeci boots was in style. Nobody wears them no more. That you see them, but you don't see them. Like it's just anything, any restaurant you can think of that was good. Hot Now. I remember Hot Now as a child, and we loved it. It was cheap. It was, man, food, and it was like you're eating out, but it's no longer around, right? So if the consumer says no, then the retailer has to find something else to do. So we want to put them out of business, but we don't want nobody to go to prison. We're not trying to, because I don't think drug dealers are necessarily bad people. We all are a slave to the dollar. Um, we all, whether, I mean, I'm in the car business. Sometimes I say about the car business, like, man, only thing that ain't is bad about this is because they say that it ain't. You know, it's because it's legal. You know, it's so you can still be an honest crook in life. So I talk to my kids. I want to make this about them because that was my reward, going to see them refocusing, being able to see why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. And I came back fired up, man. I mean, and I'm still on the no sale at work. Like I'm like all this energy, all this enthusiasm I got. I'm not doing. I'm not. I'm not capitalizing, right? But sometimes the work you do today pays off 6 months away. Like I was shooting the film that's on my YouTube channel a year before I was able to release it or even understood how to release it. Um, we're looking for partners. We're looking for people to indulge with us. This journey has been amazing, heartbreaking, challenging, depressing. Some days I wake up, man, and I'm like, wow, man, I can't believe it. I have those days, and then I have days when I'm like, man, I gotta think of something else to do. This ain't paying the bills because I'm a natural hustler, right? That's what I do. That's what I done. That's who I was. That's what defined me. Um, you know, I did a little bit about Rich Homie. Um, as more details come out, um, yeah, man, I got the news about Rich Homie like in transit, in the middle of all these things, and it was like, whoa, I had to step back and be appalled because Rich Homie, I remember a lot of his music. A lot of it got me through things. Music gets you through things, right? I truly believe that his spirit's in music because I didn't listen to music and wanted to kill somebody, and the music made me feel like I could do it, And then I've listened to music about a woman and been like, man, I love her. This is the way I feel. So, um, you know, but I feel like the brother didn't have to die, right? I watched Killer Mike speak about him at his funeral, and he spoke about like the smile that you see on a person's face who does music or who just puts their life in the forefront for other people to benefit, whether it's in a good way or a negative way, and they walk around smiling or whatever, but they're carrying your pain, their pain, everybody's with them. And I truly believe that, right? um all this. I watch a lot of YouTube videos just like everybody else, and it's like I was seeing things about it being some foul play and all these things or whatnot. But my number one question is, what I want to figure out: did Rich Homie know that he was taking the substance which we know as fentanyl, or was he under the impression that he was taking a drug that he normally takes, right? Because people don't usually overdose on a drug that they use regularly, right? Like like it'll be hard to overdose a fentanyl addict who's experienced and well coursed in it, right? Because you know your limit, you know your body, your immune system builds up to it. And that's why I want to share this with you guys real quick. um I got the number right here. I want to share this with you guys. So they said 42 per every 100,000 people in America die from fentanyl overdose. And since the epidemic started, it's been over a 500,000 deaths, right? Those numbers are, but when it's spread out, you don't feel it, right? But that's horrific. That's a lot of numbers. I remember I lived in a city, in a small city that was the population was like 200,000. That's my whole city, you know. So, you know, I wanna what I want to say is those deaths that we're experiencing are new people, right? They're people who are just trying the drug, who um these aren't the people that you see out there who've been on fentanyl for 5-10 years, right? These are the young. Most of those deaths are from 12 to 17, and they're inexperienced. It's a new venture, and they're trying something for the first time. And I think some know, and I think some don't know, right? And then you can think you know but don't know, right? I'm on Suboxone right now, and they give me Narcan because if a kid takes a little bit of it, they're dead. Period. I had to, with my children, I make sure that I lock it up, I put it away. They never see it. They never. And Suboxone does a good job of packaging and all those things, but it's still like this is a drug to get off of it, and you could still um, die from it. Like the cure per se, right? But you know, so we want to start with our community first, right? It's not a it's not a rehab, it's not a facility, it starts with us, right? It starts with us talking about it. It starts with us having the information about it, right? Um you've heard people die over liquor poison, but people still drink liquor. This isn't liquor, this is Gatorade. Um but I get cotton mouth when I talk a lot. So um you know, with all the distractions and Puff Daddy, Rich Homie, as a community, we got to start coming back together, right? I remember when we grew up, man, we could leave out the house at 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon and come back at 10:30 at night being 11, 12 years old, but everybody on that block knew about each other. We weren't worried about, well, as kids we weren't worried, but I'm speaking for the parent, right? I don't think the parents was worried about, our parents were worried about like somebody snatching us, right? Like if a man, if it was somebody weird in our neighborhood, it was like, hey man, where this guy's out of place. But and all those things, man. And we got to get back to that, you guys. The the and the election times going on. I hear America, make America great, make it affordable, let's make it relatable again, right? Let's start knowing who lives next door to us. Let's start like we had places that we went that we seen each other. We all played basketball. Let's get back to those things, because information and knowing is how prevention starts, right? um if I'm just making names up, if little Johnny, the next door neighbor, and he's 14 and he's trying fentanyl, but all the whole community is engaged and talking to each other. When Johnny's mother catches him catching fentanyl, Lisa, Sarah, James, and John mother them know to check their children to see, right? A lot of these things are happening because nobody knows. We're like this all day, and I know I'm guilty of it. We're doing this all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if we had a community, right, one person's downfall can save the whole community. You get what I'm saying? I remember when we were kids, it used to be a saying, it takes a village, and it's like not no more, right? That's why I get so irritated and frustrated with celebrities glorifying it. If you look on our YouTube channel, I check artists, man, whoever, if they're, we don't need the promotion of fentanyl and perk 30s. This drug hasn't brought us no good. It isn't even about nobody being rich no more, making money. Like, at least with crack, it was like somebody was benefiting in a beneficial way. Like, who's the fentanyl dealer? Like, it's just like where does it come from? Like, of course we know those things, but I'm saying, like, we don't have a fentanyl house. Like, you just had a crack house, the weed house, and all those things, or you knew who your neighborhood is. It's not like that no more, especially not in Phoenix, Arizona, because this is like the import export of drugs. So the overflow of drugs is like, this is Central Station, it goes out to the other states. And when that happens, packages, like, it's like it get left and left here, and it's almost free, 30 cent a pill. Like, if you gotta, like, I've talked to addicts and they say they can get 1,000 pills for $300. You do the math, that's 30 cents. How do you stop that? You stop that by coming together. That's why the slogan is always unified to change. TikTok, YouTube, whatever, I'm always getting penalties or whatever. It's like, I can't talk about positivity. It's called support surviving fentanyl, meaning supporting surviving fentanyl, right? Meaning that you can be a part of support surviving fentanyl and never used it, because this epidemic is here. This drug has taken more lives than COVID. There's no vaccine for it. We don't talk about it. Suboxone, I think it's ANR. It's a lot of different things, that treatments and stuff. You don't see commercials for it. Like, I would love, like, in my corner to have Suboxone, a hotline number. I would love to be an advocate for this drug, because it changed my life, right? Because it is a dependency thing too. You go from one dependency to another, but you can wean yourself off of it, right? I'm at the point now where I'm winging, and I'm feeling better. I feel good. Um, you out there using drugs, man, especially for the melanated man or the minority, to any, high blood pressure, diabetes, all those things, man, you already got all those challenges to go with you. So I'm going to get into a little interview. I'm going to play this little interview, and then, now that we're back from that interview, I'm going to speak directly to my community. I need you to join me with this battle. If you see the link or whatever, subscribe. Play a video a day. Talk to somebody about it. We're going to start this year, this winter and fall. We're going to start holding our own seminars. Ours will be free. We want to know about your experience. We want ideas on how to prevent this. We don't know everything about it. I had a subscriber who asked me, man, who invented fentanyl? And I got that information right here. I think it's Dr. I always say his name different. I mean, wrong. So I made sure that I had the actual name. His name is Paul Jensen. Janssen. Remember, I told y'all about the reading thing, so you can't fault me. But Dr. Joseph Fizz, Fuisz, is the inventor of Suboxone. So, and to pause, the Paul Jensen's to his credit, he didn't invent this drug for what it's being used for. It was created for severe burnt patients and severe pain. So, us being us, though, you know, we made it do what it do and turned it into what it is. But we have another man who's educated, who's inspired, and he had to be inspired to invent it, right? It's hope. It's a way. I see it. I'm telling you, if we start talking about it now, it will be different. If I had the men that were in my life, they came into my life, and what they did is they taught me about drugs, right? But they taught me how to sell them. They taught me I was misled. I'm telling you, if you lead a kid in the right direction and let's make it cool, that's why, you know, I ain't gonna lose my swag, right? I ain't gonna lose who I am because I want to do this, right? I'm telling you, let's make it cool to do the right thing and let's save our children's life. Support Surviving Fentanyl. Thank you guys for being here. Um, we've got other content, like I always say, but it's timing, right? I want to capitalize off what I do have, so I don't want to just release anything to anybody, right? I mean, at any time, right? I want it to be time. The time is right, right? We're at 1,000. We're at like 1,300 subscribers. We get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna drop the documentary. We start working on it within the next 2 weeks. Most of it's already shot. I've got interviews with the family who lost fentanyl addicts. I've got interviews with people who've almost died from fentanyl. I got interviews with people who sold it. I've got people who are fighting. I have people who have made it through recovery and everything, but lost limbs. Infectious disease is rampant. And that's another thing too, man. We've got to help in that area because that's not just their safety, it's ours, right? What we've seen with the pandemic of COVID is that our well-being is in all our hands, right? I remember when COVID, like now you can't cough for nothing. You used to just have allergies or you know I always had sinus. No, man, you got COVID if you coughing on me now. It's still a funny look about it. So what we got to do is we got to be cleaner. We got to get them the medical help they need. This is America, man. Everybody deserves medical help. Why wouldn't they have medical help? Like, like, okay, if you're a doctor and you're making $250,000 already a year, and that's a low ball number for a doctor, then if you guys see 10 extra people for free, man, that's just your calling because you in this great country to be able to make that money. You get what I'm saying? But again, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for being here with me. Unify for change, strength, serenity, freedom, support surviving fentanyl, the fastest growing nonprofit in the world. We out.